Hey everyone, it's the introverted investor. As a 44-year-old in corporate America, these are a list, 8 things that I would do different if I was graduating from college all over again. So for all you young people graduating from school, about to graduate, these are definitely 8 things that will change your wealth for the rest of your life. Number one is maxing out your 401k retirement account. If you do this, from the moment you start working and your employer gives you a retirement plan, put in the maximum you can available. It'll do 2 things for you. One, it'll lower the amount of taxes you pay at the end of the year. And two, it'll set aside tons of money for retirement. You keep investing in your 401k each year by maxing out. You'll see in 20 years, you'll have a lot more money in retirement. Compound interest is the number one thing when it comes to investing. That's how you win in the game. You invest as early as possible, you stick with it, and you ride it out. Um, the next thing, actually, another benefit of maxing out your 401k, you just learn how to live with less money. More of your paycheck will be going into your 401k. So by automatically having it invested, you will learn how to manage your expenses and live your life on less. Number two, maxing out your Roth IRA. That's another good one. Um, there's income threshold limits for the Roth IRA when you're starting out. Um, you'll probably be eligible to invest in a Roth IRA. What's great about the Roth is it's a little different than the 401k. Since Roth IRA, you're contributing with after tax money. So the money that you get from your paycheck, that's after the taxes are taken out. You would invest that amount in your Roth IRA. You don't get a tax break up front, but what happens is your money will grow tax free. So when it's time for retirement, that money will not get taxed. Um, that is different than the 401k because the 401k, you get a tax break up front, but when you pull the money out in retirement, your 401k will get taxed. So just note the difference between the two. But invest in both because they're huge, huge benefits for you later on. Number three, this is pertaining to paying for healthcare costs. Since you're young, assuming that if you're healthy, definitely important to invest in what's called a health savings account. What's great about using this type of account is you get a tax break on the money that you contribute. So if you set aside, let's say, for example, $1,000, that $1,000 will be tax deductible. You get a tax break on that $1,000. You can use that savings to pay for your co-payments if you're going to the doctor. But what's really awesome about this account is not only you get a tax break on the money you contribute, also you can invest this money and have this money grow also. So that's huge. So you can invest this money to make it grow. And then when it's time for you to retire and you want to pay for medical expenses, you don't have to pay taxes on it either. So it's awesome because one, you're contributing the money you contribute to the health savings account, tax deductible, you don't get taxed on it. It can grow tax free. And when you withdraw it and use it for medical expenses, it'll also be tax free. So that's great. Another benefit of the health savings account is the funds that you contribute each year, they roll over. They stay with you forever. They don't expire. So something to think about. Just note that not all medical plans are eligible for the HSA. Usually the high deductible plans are eligible, but if you're young, I'd say go for it. Number four, invest in the stock market in a regular brokerage account. You want to have liquid cash. Set aside some money. You can start as little as, 50, $100. Invest monthly into two popular ETFs. VOO is the total S&P 500 that tracks the top 500 companies. That's the safest, best investment you can make, I think, in terms of over a long period of time. More than likely, you're going to make money. Most people cannot outperform the S&P 500 by picking stocks. Investing in index funds is best because you're investing in the top companies, and there's just less risk. So invest in VOO, that's ticker symbol for ETF. Another one is QQQ, that invests in the NASDAQ, that's for tech funds. Those two, you should be good to go. Now, with E-Trade, you can actually set up an account to invest in these ETFs monthly. So just something to think about. Number 5, this is huge. Not only for your financial health, for your mental health. Work out regularly and eat healthy. You'll see it'll pay huge benefits for you. It'll keep you out of the doctor's office, so you'll spend less at the doctor. But more importantly, for your life mentally, because life is hard, it will make you feel better, and it'll make you make better decisions too. So don't take your health for granted. Number 6, this is probably just as important. Have friends that are goal-oriented and like-minded. This also goes for your dating partner as well. You only go as far as life as the people around you. So just make sure you're around people that are on the same page as you. Number 7, pay off credit cards in full each month. This is huge. If you're gonna borrow money, make sure you pay it off. Beat the credit card companies at their own game. If you pay off your credit card bills in full, they'll give you cash back. So they'll actually give you a reward for paying off the debt. How these credit card companies work is they make interest if you don't pay off your credit card amounts in full. So make it a point to pay it off in full. Another key on here is make sure that you're at least paying off the statement amount. There's a certain point of the month on your credit card bill where the statement gets printed, and that's the amount that the credit card company is saying you owe them. Make sure at minimum you pay off that statement amount. That will be key, because then the credit bureaus will see that you are current and that you don't owe debt. That'll keep you a high credit score, and then also you won't be paying interest. So pay off your credit cards in full. And then number 8, this is a big one. This is not for everyone, but I think this is a huge, huge important piece. Invest in real estate, meaning, after you save up money for a few years, you can buy your own place. That's great. We see that right now housing prices have skyrocketed, have gotten out of control. A good way to defend yourself against these high appreciating prices is you buy a home and you lock in on a fixed mortgage, and then your mortgage payments won't change. That's a good way to protect yourself. Another thing you can do is, if you're young, house hack. That's a great way to build wealth. So let's say you're young, you're starting out, you can possibly get a low down payment, like a FHA loan for say 3% down or 5% down, and you buy a property, and then you live in that property and you rent out other rooms in that home, or you get a multifamily and rent out another part of that multifamily house to other people and be a landlord, have them pay you rent, and then you can pay down the mortgage with their rent. That's a huge way to gain wealth in the real estate game. Being a landlord is not easy. It's not for everybody, but at the very least, if you don't want to be a landlord, definitely save up to buy yourself some real estate to live in. You want to make sure you live within your means, but having real estate is big. There's nice tax benefits to it. And then it also prevents you from huge increases in prices later on. So those are the 8 tips I recommend to all my young people out there. Stay safe and take care.